Yes, it's an anomaly that now look, the Arab is supposed to understand his language. The Arab, that's his language. But he seems to have also lost the spirit behind the Quran. He is also reading for beautification, for sawab. So I meet these Arabs. I meet them, I talk to them, and I'm asking them, you see, like in Kuwait, when I went to Kuwait, I saw, as I landed, the man who comes to pick me up from the ministry, sitting with me in the front. I'm asking him, what is your name? So he said, my name is Yusuf. I said, Yusuf? Ah, my younger son is Yusuf. And you know, you're like a son to me, like my son is Yusuf. So my companion who had been to Kuwait before, he whispers to me that he's a Lebanese Christian. I said, oh, in other words, you better change the tune. You know, he's not what you're thinking. I go to the hotel, 5-star hotel. I see the receptionist. From his complexion and dial, I can make out he's a Hindi man from the subcontinent. So I'm asking him, where you come from? So he said, India. I said, where about? He said, Bombay. I said, you speak Gujarati? He says, no. I said, that's funny. I come from Bombay and I can speak Gujarati. How is it that you come from Bombay and you can't speak Gujarati? He said, no, I'm a Goanese Christian. I said, oh, name Stephen. I sit down to eat. The waiter comes. Another Hindi. Name Paul. So I asked him, I said, you Paul? He said, yes. I said, robbing Peter to pay Paul, huh? Just a joke, you see. He said, no, my father is Peter. I said, oh. Christian, Christian, Christian is eating the cream of the land. When my brothers in Pakistan are hungry for jobs, my brothers in the Sudan, in Egypt are hungry for jobs, in India are hungry for jobs, and the Christian is eating the cream of the land. So, I speak to these people, this younger generation. I says, you know, when I came, this is what I saw. I said, look, you haven't got the guts. You haven't got the spirit to go and find customers for Islam. You can't go to Borneo. You can't go to the Amazon. You can't go to China. You can't go to Russia. You know, you're all too soft. You can't move anywhere. So Allah is making things easy for you. He's sending customers to your door, to your homes, looking for jobs. Why don't you talk to them? So the Arab tells me now, he said, La ikraha fi din. He's quoting the Quran. Shaitan quoting the Quran. They said the devil's quoting scripture. He is a Muslim. He's an Arab. He's telling me what the Quran says. He says, La ikraha fi din. It means there is no compulsion in religion. I said, who's talking about compulsion? I'm not telling you to force Islam down their throats. You, I said 100 million, you can't extricate 1 square inch of land from the mouth of the Jew by force. Am I going to tell you, go and force the Americans to become Muslims, force the Chinese to become Muslims, force the Russians? Who's talking about force? Another guy, I tell him, he said, Lakum dinukum waliya din. This is quoting the Quran, the shaitan. I said, you know, look, this is as a last resort when everything fails. You try. And when that guy says, hey, I'll put a knife through you, then Allah tells you to tell them, وَإِذَا خَاطَمُهُمُ الْجَاهِلُونَ قَالُوا سَلَامًا. When you meet the ignorant one, say peace. tum tumhare raaste, hum hamare raaste. That is as a last resort. If our Nabi started with that, there would have been no problem. If he started with that, we wouldn't have been Muslims today. But you see, he has lost the whole thing. But there's one thing good about the Arab. I'm hammering him, wallah, I'm hammering him. And I tell you, he loves it. This is the beauty of it. He loves it because he knows it's coming from the heart.